Those of us who are in the director group, I mean, she's always like, oh, I created this, and if anyone wants to use it, like, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Me too.
I have a lot to say.
Awesome. And I like that you brought props.
Take a lot of my time up. Just go over it.
I've been with my husband for 25 years, and the one thing he will tell you is that I can talk. So for those of you guys that I don't know, my name's Becky Wolfinger, and I'm an advanced director from Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. So it's kind of cool, though, because we're at a Hoedown, and the town that I live in has more cows than people. So it's kind of relevant, Grace. What do you think?
Yeah, right.
So by show of hands, how many of you guys have ever done a bridal shower? Okay, so look around. Keep your hands up for a second. Look around the room. What's wrong with this?
Not everybody.
Exactly. How many brides do you think there are out there?
Oh my gosh.
Anybody like numbers? Hey, Nancy Joe, I know you like numbers. How about we start with some numbers?
20
What do you
million.
think? Okay. So you're gonna, there was actually at the hotel last night, and how many of you guys are at the Comfort Inn? Okay, we had a little bachelorette party last night. So you're gonna meet Tada Tiffany here in a couple minutes, but yeah, but more on that later. Okay, so what do you guys think the most popular wedding months are?
June.
October.
Every month.
So I once upon a time thought that June was the most popular wedding month, but it's not anymore. It's actually September and October. A lot of people don't realize that. So what is the average amount spent on a wedding gift? Anybody know that?
250. 200.
So it's between $70 and $100.
Cheap asses.
I'm done. Mic drop. Wedding gift. Yeah, so wedding gift. So that's the average for a wedding gift.
Doesn't even pay for the meal for one person. Exactly.
I'm going to her wedding. Okay, so did you guys know that the wedding industry is a $19 billion a year industry? So how much of that are we leaving on the table? Since half of us, pretty much if you looked around, only half of us have done bridal showers. How much money are we leaving on the table? A lot. So 19% of engagements happen in December. Did you guys know that? 19% of engagements happen in December. What month are we in?
October.
So a couple months, it's going to be like this big, huge spike. What does that mean for us?
Registries.
Get your stuff together,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so 91% of couples do a registry. 91%, you guys. So this one was interesting. 76% of brides prefer to have their shower in their home. 76% of brides. So where does that leave you guys? If 76% of brides prefer to have a bridal shower at their home, right? We're already in their homes, right? It's just another service we're going to offer. Okay, so 16% will have over 40 people at their shower. How many of you guys would love to walk into a room with 40 people?
Yeah, right.
Dollar bill, y'all? Anyway, 45% of people will consider hiring somebody to help them plan or cater their bridal shower. I can go home now, right? Did I change your life? Okay. We're not done yet. So what is that? Where does that leave us? That means, by show of hands, you guys, there was half of us, right? Raise our hands that have done a bridal shower, which is not, that's not enough. Every hand should be up at some point. How many of you guys have been with the company longer than a year? Okay, look around. So that means we have work to do. So bridal showers, what I found, are a huge opportunity, and they require a lot of thought and planning, right? Not only from the brides, you know, their family, whoever's doing them, but from us as well, if we're going to give our time and energy to it. I think what separates me sometimes is that I'm that person that goes the extra. You know, I'm a little, when you get to know me, I am a little extra. Don't laugh. So, you know, it's the little things that really set you apart from other people. It's the finer details, I think. And when you put your personal stamp on something, that's what people remember.
Appreciate
okay?
it.
They appreciate that. And you're talking about one of the moments in your life that you remember forever.
Yeah.
How many of you guys remember your bridal shower?
Yep.
Okay. All right. How many of you guys remember your wedding? God, I hope so. Some of us don't remember because there was, never mind, that's a story. So where do we start with it? So we start with marketing, okay? How many of you guys are on social media? I don't even have to look. I mean, really. So we start there. That is the starting place. If you've never done one, that's where you're going to start, okay? So you want to, how many of you guys have a VIP group? Okay, good start, right? So in your VIP group, every week, you need to have some kind of post in there informing people that you do bridal showers and registries, okay? In your virtual party outlines, if that is not in there, you're missing the boat. Same thing at your cooking shows. If you're not talking about it, you're missing the boat. So we talked about fundraising, right, yesterday, and how it's really important to share that information at our cooking shows. And, same applies with our virtual parties. But if we're not talking about bridal showers, are you going to ever get a bridal shower if you're not sharing the information? I mean, last time I checked, who's knocking on your door for a booking, right? Anybody come to your door? Okay. You also have the ability to send out a customer connection email, right? How many of you guys know how to send out an email from Consultant's Corner? And if you don't, you need to talk to your director. They need to show you how to do that. Or I have a video on my YouTube channel. So what I love is that through social media, you're really able to separate yourself, okay? And so because I've been doing bridal showers for a long time, I have a collection of photos of my brides, okay? And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. And so that's what I share when I share content with people. I share pictures of my brides. I share pictures of my bride's haul that they got from their bridal shower. Because how else do you entice somebody but to show them what really happens on the other side? What they actually receive. So a tip for you is when you do a bridal shower, I always have my bride take a picture of her, delivery, that day when everything shows up and it's like Christmas. And I have her send it to me. Most of the time, yes, they'll post it on social media and I have her tag me in that as well. Because when you get tagged, what happens?
You get the notification.
So she's doing my job for me, right, when she tags me. But I save that image so that I can use it for the future, okay? Another tip would be if you, at the shower and you didn't take pictures, no worries. Have them send you a personal testimonial of their experience with you. And so if you didn't take pictures at your last shower because you didn't think about it, send a message to your brides right now and say, hey, I'm trying to, promote bridal showers, and I would love it if you would give me a testimonial of your experience that you had on your special day with me. And then you create something and you share that. So what are some other ways that you can get bridal showers? So how many of you guys have a local bridal shop near you? Okay, how many of you guys have a local baker that does wedding cakes? A local wedding venue? Okay, and so you go and you establish relationships with all of those people because we're in what kind of business? Relationship business, exactly. And then you ask them for a referral to their brides and grooms, and in turn, you offer them the same thing. Okay? So when I'm talking with brides, and maybe I know a really good photographer because I have a close relationship with them, and they haven't found a photographer yet, maybe I give them a shout out. Don't you love it when people give you a referral? Okay, so that's one way you can kind of establish those relationships, get connections with new brides and push your business. Keep an eye out on wedding announcements in your local newspapers. Yes, there are still paper newspapers. Watch for local wedding events, vendor events, the wedding events. How many of you guys have ever done one of them? Now, let me ask you a question. Do you guys find immediate results with them?
No.
Why not?
The weddings are in a year or two.
So the average wedding is planned in 12 to 15 months. A lot of people don't realize that. So we spend a lot of money to go set our stuff up at the wedding events, but then we expect an immediate return on it, and it's really not going to happen. So don't have that level of expectation there. But what you should be after is the relationships, right? And the connections while you're there, and then the fortune is in the follow-up. So you want to have, make sure you have a system in place for that. And so what I like to do in my contacts when I'm on Consultant Connection, when I meet new brides and they're not quite ready yet to, have a shower with me or create a registry, is in the contacts I create a folder in my contacts on Consultant Corner. You guys know how to do that? Okay, so I have one marked specifically for future brides, so that when I send out customer connection emails, I can send it directly to them, so I'm targeting my audience. Ooh, I heard somebody. How many of you guys, when you're on social media, do you actually pay attention to the wall, to your personal wall, and what's being posted there?
Yep.
You know, as you're scrolling, how many of you just are scrollers? How many of you actually read what people are writing? Because that's really important. And so that's the way, you know, you're going to find a lot of brides that way as well, and not maybe specifically from the bride, but maybe from their families of, you know, who is getting married in their family. And so if we've established really good relationships with our customers as we're taking care of them, they're going to remember you, right? They're also going to remember the way you make them feel. You know, so if you leave people with that positivity grace, right, and they remember you because of your heart and the way you give and share, they're going to remember you when it comes to that special day for somebody in their life. So, you guys ready to have a bridal shower today?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to welcome up Ta-da Tiffany. So Ta-da, if you can make your way to the stage, please.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. So last night was Tiffany's bachelorette party. Today's her bridal shower. I will tell you though, last night when we were having her bachelorette party, we met Ken the stripper. He was there. That was interesting. And Tiffany, how did you like that recipe made with the bat? I don't know about you guys. Anybody like pee their pants a little last night? Yeah. So now that you've landed your bridal showers, how do you go forward from there? Okay. So it's really important if you're a local, if you're doing a bridal shower for somebody local, that you offer any amount of personal service that you can. Okay. And what do I mean by that? I mean personal service. Okay. How many of you guys believe in strong personal service? Okay, so we all kind of said a couple minutes ago how important this special day is for our brides, right? And so anything we can do to help take the stress away from the planning of her bridal shower is going to be so beneficial not only to her family, but to her as well in the long run, right? Because we're going to get great results if we're involved. How many of you guys send invitations for your cooking shows? So you know when we have control over that piece of it, what happens? You get results, right? But when we take our hands out of the cookie jar, what happens? Mama closes it, you know? Nobody puts their hands in it. Yeah. So, you know, we need to be involved with that process. So what I like to do is I like to drop off a catalog to, you know, whoever's hosting the bridal shower. Now, I'm finding a lot more that brides are actually involved in the planning of their bridal showers. It used to be, I think, a long time ago that it was the family that kind of took over that responsibility, but us OCD people like to have our hands in everything. So I'm finding that I'm working with a lot more brides than just the bridal family. And so I give them a catalog, I give them a Sharpie, and I say, you know what, I want you to make your list. I want you to go through this catalog and circle everything possible that you want for your kitchen. And they're always like, oh, I have like 15 things on my list. Is 15 things enough?
No.
No? I mean, it's kind of like, you know, is it ever really enough? No. So I tell her to dream big, right? We want you to have a huge wish list. Like anything possible that you want in your kitchen, we want on your bridal board, okay? And so then I tell her, when you have it ready, let me know. I'll pick it up from you, and I will go in and I will create your registry for you. So I take that stress away from her, okay? Who wants to, you know, fool with technology if you are not somebody like me? Anybody really love technology?
No.
Raise your hand if you don't like technology. So why would we ask our brides to create the registries then if most of us don't really appreciate technology yet? So I step into that role and I do it for her. She said thank you. Encourage them, like I said, to make a dream list. Once you've created the registry, be involved with the whole process from the invitations being mailed, okay? You want to have your hands in that piece of it. So even if they insist on creating their own, you know, invitations and mailing them themselves, I ask them if I can put in a little insert into their invitation, okay? Ooh, sweet. You awake now? Everybody awake? So I'm going to pass around the insert, or excuse me, Tiffany is, that I put into my wedding invitations. And what you're going to see there is, you know, most of the time if they're doing a Pampered Chef bridal shower, okay, so for those of you guys that have done a Pampered Chef bridal shower, how many times have you gotten there and half of the guests bring a gift for... Yeah, that's not a fun experience, right? When you walk in with the intent of having this amazing show and helping this bride, and then everybody brings a gift. So that's what that little insert is going to show you guys, is that I'm, you know, and I make sure that the host, the bride, whoever I'm involved with, is okay with this piece, okay? And I specifically give directions to not give gifts, you know, to not bring gifts to the party, that we're going to help the bride take care of that. So they're going to pass that around. If you guys want to snap a picture, you can, and I can also put that document into the group later. Sharing is caring. Okay, so find out the bride's colors. Why would you want to know the bride's colors?
Customizing it.
Customization, right? It's all that personal experience that we want to offer. So just like a cooking show, you know, we want to offer a personalized, you know, kind of experience with them. So, you know, do your girlfriends prefer wine, cheese, and chocolate, right? We're asking those questions to see what kind of people are going to be at the party. And so, you know, if I'm giving an experience for a bridal shower to my bride, I want to have it personalized for her. Like, I want to know her colors. Like, I want to know everything about this wedding, so that I'm able to help her plan, you know, this special day that kind of flows with her wedding. She said it's purple. Can you tell by her hair? Find out if they want you to do the games or not. Okay, that's another one I get asked a lot. Is do you do games? But if they say that they already have, you know, let's say her bridesmaids are doing the games. Okay, I ask them, may I do one game? And why do I want to do one game?
Get prize drawing slips.
Yeah, it's just, I want to make sure that experience, yes, it's about the bride, but it's also about my business, right? And so I still need to have a piece of control that is representing me as a Pampered Chef consultant. And what is the first word that everybody should think of when you think of Pampered Chef? Fun, right? And so it's letting me have a little bit of fun with them, with the guests, and not necessarily just the bride. Okay, so I try to do one game, and we'll pass those around that I do at the show as well. You have them? Yeah, they're on the bottom. So how many of you guys that have done a bridal shower have ever made a bridal board before? Okay, so this is, again, just one way that you can kind of customize to the bride. So I make a bridal board, and we're going to hold this up. So again, you know, it took me a little bit of time to make it. Now, do you think one board is enough, or should we have two? Yeah. Every one of my brides, if their wish list does not fit onto two boards, it's not big enough. Okay? So you want to have at least two of these made for every bridal shower you do. And so once they've created the wish list, okay, you can go in. How many of you guys know where to find your bride's wish list at? Everybody know? Oh my gosh, I'm so scared right now. So when you go into shows and orders, up by the create button, there's a little button now, a little link that you click that says view registries and wish lists. And that's where you're going to find them. You don't have to go like, you know, click 20 times. It's buried somewhere. It's right there for you. And so once they've created their wish list, you have access to that. And what I love is that home office made this part really easy for us now. You can go in there, you can print it off, and we're going to pass around what it looks like. And so what I do is I just cut on the line, and then I take that and I put it onto the bridal board. Okay? So when it comes time for the actual bridal shower, they can just pull it off, and they can add that, you know, on their order. And then we know what's left on the wish list and what's not left on the wish list that day at the shower. So leading up to the bridal shower, you want to make sure you're connected, okay? Because you really do need to know how many people that they're expecting, so that you make sure you bring enough supplies, you have enough order forms. And I have an order form that I didn't create, but Lily Mountain is where I got it from. Back in the day, and I still use it because it's extremely effective, okay? So it's not a home office created document. It's one that I've used for 8 years now. And what it does, it a place for them to order and a place for the bride's gifts to go. Okay? So we're going to pass some of those around as well. And yes, we can pop that on the group as well for you. But, you know, because so many times people come to a shower and they're going to buy for the bride, but then we also forget to encourage them to order for themselves, because it's like double the rewards, you guys. You know, if you can have a show within a show for the bride, I mean, that's essentially what you're doing, right? If you're getting them to order, they're shopping off the wish list. It's like a show within a show. And so who benefits from that the most? Our bride. And how are you going to feel when I come up to you and say, oh my gosh, you have like $400 in free stuff to use after half of her wish list has disappeared? Do you think that she's going to remember me? Yeah, exactly. And that's what we want. So I make some special gifts for my bride. Yes, we like this part. Look at her. She's so excited. So I kind of dress my bride when I start. When I start the show, you know, on your supplies, you can find our wedding shower aprons. And so I kind of introduce myself at the beginning of the show. I kind of tell them how, you know, the show is going to work, that the bridal board is set over here for you guys, you know, so whenever you're ready, you can kind of go up to the board, pull off what you want. I've already passed around catalogs, order forms, whatever. I kind of share a little bit about my story first. But the thing to remember about a bridal shower is this is not about you. Let that sink in for a second, because a lot of us, when we're in the spotlight, we like to stay there. And this is not about you. So it's about making that bride feel special, because this is her special day in front of her family. And so I give her apron, and I tell them this is, so what do brides need? They need 3 things, right, when they're getting married? No, they need a wedding dress. So this is her wedding dress, okay, at the bridal shower. So we dress her in her little dress. And then she needs a veil. So I have I go to Walmart or, you know, Hobby Lobby, wherever, and get a piece of tulle. It's like 99 cents for a yard of tulle. And we create with a Twix and clip, you know, and put the little veil in her hair. And then every bride needs a bouquet, right? So these are all my gifts for her. So she gets to keep the apron at the end. We're going to talk about that here in a second. She gets to keep this, which is my gift to her. And why do I choose a scraper? I'm going to scoot this way. Why do I choose a scraper? Because this is a part where I can share my personal experience with Pampered Chef. How many of you guys remember the first thing that you bought with Pampered Chef? Okay, so me, 20 years ago, the very first thing I ever bought with Pampered Chef was a mix-in scraper. Okay, and I take that mix-in scraper to every single show with me. And so that's exactly what I asked them. I asked them, does anybody remember the first thing that they bought at their, you know, first Pampered Chef party? And so I share that this is what the bride is getting, and that's why. Okay, so I'm sharing a piece of myself, and I'm also giving her something that is going to last her forever. She's scary. Okay, so the other thing that I do in the beginning before we start the demo is I tell them that when 3 of the guests at her party book their own show, that the bride is also going to get 3 50% off coupons from me that day. Okay, and so I actually have little laminated 50% off coupons, and as they book shows, I give those coupons to the bride that day. And again, it's just a way to entice, because, you know, how many of you guys remember the party that you had, like before you started with Pampered Chef, where there's still things left on your wish list, right? There's always going to be things left on our wish list. And that's kind of how I explain it to them, is that even though she's going to have a fabulous bridal shower, there's still going to be things probably that she's not going to add to her kitchen today. And that's where you come in. As her friend, you can help her add those things into her kitchen, okay, by booking your own show. And then, you know, explain the other benefits as far as the 10% discount, etc. See, I told you I'm long-winded. So we dressed up the bride. We played the game, which we passed around already. I give a season's best for that. Now, here's the other part that I think my brides appreciate. So when, you know, the demo is over, and what do I do for a demo? Again, remember, it's not about us, so I do something short, sweet, to the point. My bride is up there involved with me, okay? She actually cooks with me. So when I arrive at the house, I do a really, really, really strong prep. Like, everything is pretty much ready to kind of throw together. because I don't want her to be like, if she's an insecure person, I don't want her to feel like she's in the spotlight for too long and be stressed out about it. So I try to make sure that it's, something short. So I like the grilled chicken with strawberry spinach salad. That's one of my favorites. A caprese risotto. And if you're Southern like me, like some chicken sliders with some homemade coleslaw. That's always going to be my favorite. So what do you do when the bride is like, the family's all doing the games? What do you guys do? What do you do at that moment? You clean and set up, okay? Yeah, you can do that. So what I recommend that you guys do is take pictures. Take pictures of her with her family. Take pictures of her playing the games. Take pictures of her family playing the games. Take pictures of her opening any gifts that were brought, okay? Because again, this is a personal touch that a lot of people wouldn't think about. And so after the bridal shower's over, the very next day I send her a message and I'm like, hey, Nancy Jo, oh my gosh, I had so much fun at your bridal shower yesterday and I took some pictures for you. Because I know you were busy with your family and you probably didn't have time to get a lot of pictures. So I did this for you and I'm going to send them all to you. So that is, again, what people remember, right? It's the small little special touches that we do. So after the party, make sure you're entering the orders and you're marking them to come off of the bridal wish list. Does everybody know how to do that? No. Okay. So when you're in the show cart, if you go up to the top right side where the 3 lines are, if there's a wish list created, there's a place there for you to remove it from the wish list. A lot of people don't realize that it's right there. So it actually will attach that person's name to the bridal shower as that gift being purchased. Okay? So I make a thank you list for the bride because I know exactly what they've purchased, okay? And again, they might not have had the time to write down, what everybody bought and brought and everything like that. So I send a thank you list to my host so that if she wants to mail cards out to her guests that were there, it's easy. She knows exactly what to thank them for. And I also, offer a pack of our thank you cards if she wants them. Most of the time they don't take them, but it's still the gesture of offering thank you cards to them. So follow up, with social media is a big thing because, now that I've had the experience with the bride, I've had pictures, I always get a selfie with the bride because Laura Polito would probably smack me if I didn't. You want to post those kind of things on social media so that people can see what kind of experience that you had at a bridal shower and it gets them thinking about their own, okay, or their family's own. And then, they see the smiles and the laughter and the love that's going on, so they know that you're caring. And maybe they say yes to you instead of saying yes to the dress. So if they live local to me, another service that I offer is I separate the orders for my bride. Okay, I ship it all to me and I separate it and I deliver it to her. Okay, so again, they don't have to go through all that work, of separating. I'm not on direct ship, okay, so it all comes to me. I take the time to separate it, and then how I can still continue a relationship with those customers that purchased, right? I have control over that now. And so they have the little slip, I write a little thank you note on there, and I attach a little mini catalog with my business card so that they have my information for the future. So some suggestions for virtually. A lot of the above can be done as far as doing a virtual kind of, virtual party, registry, bridal shower, whatever you would want to call it. This is another reason why I ask for the colors, and I also ask for a picture of the bride and groom together because the banner is created as a personal touch with pictures of them with their wedding date, with their bridal colors, so you go that extra special mile for them so that when they join that event, they see themselves, right? They don't see Becky and Pampered Chef. The announcement post, I always pin the wish list there, so it's a spot for everybody to easily access it. I pretty much run my same virtual party outline with the exception that every day I will throw in 1 or 2 of their wish list items. Maybe I group them, so I'll take like 4 or 5 items in one post and say, this is Tiffany's, these are items from Tiffany's wish list. Kind of talk about a couple of them, but it'll just have pictures. So just, constantly keep that wish list in their mind as they're also partying with me on Facebook. I send the host a message with personalized words so that they can message out to people before the party starts, halfway through, and then after the party's over to encourage the orders. And then I also, again, same thing, I go live and I offer that 50% off coupons for the bride so that we can also get some bookings from it to help the bride. Does that make sense? All right, let's see. I think that's it. Yes. So another personal touch, the apron. I actually passed that around to the guests. I have the bride take it off. And we're going to actually do that today. We're going to pass around the apron so you guys can also put a special message on there. Because I think we should send it to Missy. What do you think? If you want to put a little special message to Missy on the apron, yeah, and then we can send that to her as well. So that's something else, though, you know, you have their family, leave a little special message because it's another way that she's going to remember that day.
I don't think she's getting it. It's in her email.
Okay, so we are going to open it up for Q&A. And we have a good amount of time for it. So
Anybody in overload?
right here,
No, that's
Nancy,
awesome.
Joe, and then Becky. Just so that everybody can hear, when they ask you a question, kind of rephrase restate it so you know. Why am I telling you this?
Becky, one of the things I do is I either provide a card or I have everybody bring a card, and after they come see me and check out, they put those little slips in the card, and the bride actually opens the card from Aunt. They can write a nice note in there, and they say what they got from Aunt Sally.
Oh, nice.
And,
So it takes the work away.
It does. It just is real, because they want to open something, and so we
Gotcha.
put it in a love basket. And
That's a cute idea. So she has little cards for the guests to
yeah, you go to the dollar store and get a package, and they can just be generic, or you can have everybody bring a bridal shower card, and then they write in what they put those little slips in there and write a nice note.
Nice. And I've asked them to bring before, like when I had control over the invitations, to bring their favorite recipe, like their favorite family recipe. So I've done that as well. That's a good tip.
What did she say?
So she gives them a thank you, like a little card for everybody to fill out. So the bride has something to open, and they can write in there what they purchased. And a little special note, yeah, so that she has something to open. Yes, ma'am.
So how would people handle being on direct ship with this?
I don't know, you'd have to ask somebody on direct ship. As much as I love technology, that was one pilot when I was asked to do it, I didn't do it. Anybody know how you answer that?
I'm on direct ship.
Come on up, Linda.
Well, so when I've done my bridal showers with direct ship, and that was one of my questions, is you said, I don't, can't hear you over here. So, with direct ship, you can have the product sent directly to the bride. Now that you can add 2 orders, you can separate and have the person, they just have to pay 2 shippings, unfortunately, but it's shipping right to their house. So they can do 2 orders now. So one can go to the bride and one can go to themselves. So it's exact same way of using that order form. They just have to pay 2 shippings. If you don't want to do it that way and they don't want to pay 2 shippings and they live fairly close to the bride, they can either have their order sent directly to them and they can take the bride their gifts, or they can do it the opposite direction and they ship it to the bride and the bride gives their friends what they ordered extra. And then I usually send a list to the bride or to say, this is what you need to give your friend, your neighbor, your sister, your in-law, whatever. My question is about when you said something about, and I guess maybe it's new and I've never done it, you said when you're in the order, you can pull from the wish list, but can you do that with Express Party Checkout?
No.
Okay.
You would she asked if you would be able to do it with Express Party Checkout, and the answer is no, because you actually have to be in the show cart to be able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Becky, she had another ship. Another way to handle that.
So what I typically do is put the bride's gifts going to the bride all in one order. I pay shipping for her. That's another small way that I, appreciate her order. So, and then that way there, if they are shipping or if they are purchasing something for themselves, then it can just go to them and they don't have to pay double shipping.
See, reason why I'm not on direct ship. Right here.
I've done a lot of restaurants, and I love it because I'm like an old sappy romantic. But the
beauty of these ladies is that I've done two that the brides lived out of state. It's perfect because everything can get shipped to her out of state. She might come home to visit her family. We have her shower with the family. But, you know, one bride was in Wisconsin and we were in Pennsylvania. So everything that I held it to, she got home from her shower, submitted it, and she got stuff dumped on her doorstep, and then everything became local. Went to her mom's house, and her mom would store whatever, you know, and like you say, you pay a little bit of extra shipping because that's just a nice little personal thing.
Right.
That you can do that. But there's a, you know, ladies, not everybody lives at home anymore. It's beautiful. Everything is shipped to them. They don't have to worry about carting it back on a plane or packing it up and mailing it. Pampered Chef delivers it to them, so it's a wonderful program to take advantage of.
People always remember the way you make them feel, right? And if they had a good experience with you, they'll tell 3 friends. And if they had a bad experience, they're going to tell 50. So how do you want to leave your brides feeling? Good. So any extra things that you can do for them, they'll definitely appreciate and remember. Gretchen?
How you book these showers, because I mean, if you're at a bridal event or at a party, I've got a lot of people who will say, well, I don't really want to focus on just Pampered Chef. I want my Bed Bath & Beyond and my Target and my other stuff. You know, I don't want just the Pampered Chef part.
So for me, it goes back to those host coaching conversations that I'm having, because my coaching really doesn't change a lot whether I'm doing a bridal shower or a cooking show, right? So I'm still kind of, you know, communicating with them the benefits of, you know, having Pampered Chef, you know, them getting their wish list, all those things, and why we're going to do. But like I said, when I do the little insert in their invitation, I ask them, I get their permission to do that. And if they want other registries to be on there, you know, that's a decision. I'm willing to accept that, you know, so that I would adjust that and put other registries on there for them. I just think, again, it's just, you know, something that we should do and offer if they ask about it. But I try to steer that conversation in one direction, definitely.
I've done several bridal showers, and for that particular one, I just always tell them, like at a vendor event or whatever, when I'm talking about it, is have 2 showers. Have a fun one where you can get all that nice stuff, your towels and all that stuff, and then have one that's a little more kitchen focused. Yeah, kitchen focused, and maybe not as big or whatever.
Do that? Yeah.
Sorry.
And you have people do
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah. But because we now have, before we had the blender, when I would do bridal showers, I would always, I do a favor for each person at the party, because who doesn't want to come and get a free little favor? So I did the spoons, I did chocolate spoons with a pretzel at the end, and then I did ice cream, and they thought that was fun. I added a little tag. But now that we have the blender, I ordered off Amazon 1.5 ounce jars, and I made blueberry jam for every guest. I had a little label, thanks for coming to so-and-so's bridal.
So think about this, guys. You know, all of these things that we're saying about the personal touch, you know, most brides, the average bride has 6 bridesmaids, if you guys didn't know that. And so most of the time the bridesmaids are, you know, either not married or probably planning a wedding themselves in the future. And so all of those things they're going to remember too, you know. And so it's important to establish a relationship specifically with those bridesmaids when you're at the shower. You know, get to know them as well. But as far as like how I book them, I mean, for me, I'm all about social media. Like that's why I say post in your VIP groups once a week, because how many of you guys are constantly adding people into your VIP groups? So they may not know that you do bridal showers, and that's why it's why it's important to continue to put that out there. You know, we get what we ask for, right? Most of the time, when we're targeting something, that's what we're going to get results wise.
Can I make a suggestion for marketing? If you guys are getting an invitation from a bride that they're inviting you to a wedding, most nowadays all brides have websites. Mm-hmm. Okay, most all brides now have websites. On those websites is registries. And if you click on those registries, 9 times out of 10 it says Target and Macy's and Bed Bath & Beyond. And I don't know about you guys, but I sure would much rather have my kitchen products. And I will go in there and I will look at what they registered for. And immediately, as soon as I see their website, I message them. Yeah. Before it's too late, because they've just now set up their website. So go in there and see what they're registered for, and then offer your registry. Tell them they probably have no clue that Pampered Chef has a registry, that all they have to do is fill it up and pop it on that website, because so many people order their gifts online. They don't live in Pennsylvania, they live in Wisconsin, and they're not coming to Pennsylvania for the wedding. You might as well throw your Pampered Chef registry right up there along with their Target one, and that's just income, that's ways for you to get your name out there too, because all those other people that are coming to their website are now seeing, oh, I didn't realize Pampered Chef had a wedding registry, and now you're hitting all those people that are coming to their website.
Don't forget about divorce registries.
I just did a divorce party. The girl left most of her stuff with the man. Why? We don't know.